What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 2 Team Builder to take on my good buddy Kade and his Krabby Cadabbies in the Nimbasa City League, or the NCL. Kade has a very fast team, and even though I have some speed, I can't outrun a lot of things, so that's going to be a theme with this Team Builder. Now let's run through his team. He has Mega Sharpedo, Tapu Koko, Infernape, Decidueye, Snorlax, Bronzong, Avalugg, Garchomp, Selgor, Nihilego, Alolan Raichu. So you'll notice there are a lot of really fast things and then really slow things. He has no speed tier between 70 and 102. So that's kind of something we can work around. However, he does have a lot of good speed tiers between 100 and 145. So we'll see what we can work with there, especially with Alolan Raichu in Electric Surge. That's going to be super duper fast. So I figured if I can't beat the speed, then I can at least build the bulk. So that's kind of what we're going with mostly this week. We actually are bringing a very bulky team, but it's fitting with the same core that I'd like to have. I'm not expecting a Selgor or Nihilego. I think Nihilego can't beat a lot of the Pokemon on my team. And it kind of gets wrecked by a few things. And I think a Selgor, despite the fact that it's really fast, doesn't have a ton of usefulness against my team this week. I think it's good against Hydreigon, and it's decent against Rotom-Mow. It gets absolutely bodied by Darmanitan. It gets bodied by Celesteela. It gets bodied by Mega Beedrill. It gets bodied by Azumarill. It could be okay against Uxie. It's a maybe for me, I think, with a Selgor. Although I do think that he would be wasting his time if he was trying to run max speed against Mega Beedrill. So we're creeping. We're creeping for that as well. A little bit at least. I also don't think that Avalugg is going to come. It might. Avalugg is another one of those maybes for me. I think he would rather bring a faster team against me and then bring something like Snorlax or Bronzong than bring Avalugg. Despite the fact that Avalugg has a reasonable matchup against most of my team, I'm not sold on Avalugg against my team just yet. I think Darmanitan's good against Celesteela. Kind of just sits in front of it, and it can't do anything to Celesteela, so I'm not sure what he wants to go with there. Decidueye, another maybe. Yeah, Decidueye is like on the rails for me. I'm not entirely sure if he would bring Decidueye. We'll sort of see what he brings when it happens. In terms of priority, he has Mega Sharpedo with Aqua Jet, Infernape with Mach Punch, Fake Out, Vacuum Wave, Decidueye with Sucker Punch, a Selgor with Water Shuriken, a Alolan Raichu with Fake Out, and a Alolan Raichu with Extreme Speed. Hazard setting, he has Infernape with Stealth Rocks, Bronzong with Stealth Rocks, Garchomp with Stealth Rocks, Selgor with Spikes and Toxic Spikes, Nihilego with Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes. He has removal in Tapu Koko with Defog, Decidueye with Defog, and Avalugg with Rapid Spin. And he has two 4x weaknesses, Garchomp to Ice and Nihilego to Ground. Alright, I'm going to start with the boring stuff because I love starting with boring stuff. This set is a set that my good buddy TJ runs all the time, and I'm going to take a page out of his book. We are bringing Lobotomy the Uxie with Light Clay, Reflect, Light Screen, U-Turn, and Memento. Get as many turns of screens as we can so that his fast threats can't hurt me. Potentially set up with a Azumarill behind these later on, and then we get soft switches with U-Turn and Memento. I'm really hoping to sort of set up the screens early, and then later on be able to set up the screens again, Memento out, and we'll see what I want to go into later. Max HP, max SpitF. This is kind of a SpitF wall as well. Against something like Tapu Koko, we eat hits really well. And while Tapu Koko can U-turn out, Kade doesn't have the best special attackers on his team. Alolan Raichu can't really do much to this either. Nihilego can't really do much to this. He might be threatened by like a Psychic. I did bring Psychic last week. Although Psychic's not going to touch it really, but yeah. Excuse me. He has a couple things that I can set up screens reliably on. I think Infernape I can set up screens reliably on. I can set up screens on Tapu Koko. I can set up screens on Bronzong, Snorlax. I can set up screens on Garchomp really easily as well. It really depends what he does with the Garchomp afterwards. That's the fact. I can set up screens on Alolan Raichu. I can set up screens on Avalugg. So there's some really good options for me to set up screens against. And then again later, I want to, at the very least, memento on something, even if I can't be behind a screen. Next up, we're bringing a defensive Celesteela this week. We brought a very offensive one against Matt, and it kind of bit me in the ass because I misplayed with it. This time we're bringing an offensive Apollo 13 with leftovers, Leech Seed, Earthquake, Toxic, and Flamethrower. I'm bringing Toxic over Protect because I don't want to be free setup fodder for Snorlax. I think Snorlax can reliably just click Curse against me otherwise, but if he's the Gluttony set, then at least we'll get the Toxic off on him. Earthquake is there to hit the Tapu Koko. We can actually eat a Thunderbolt or a Wild Charge from Naive Tapu Koko. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we eat a Thunderbolt from Modest Tapu Koko. I don't know if we eat a Wild Charge from Adamant Tapu Koko, and we're not living a Z move either way. That's why I have Uxie. This is a mixed defensive wall in Celesteela though, because I need to sort of hit those. I need to be able to at least like Earthquake, like get off some damage on something. Flamethrower is there for the Bronzong. We're hitting Bronzong despite one of its abilities with this coverage, and I think Bronzong's a good switch-in for him against Celesteela because he can set up like a... I don't know if he would run Trick Room against me, but he could potentially be setting up a Trick Room. He can set up Stealth Rocks on me, etc., etc. I'm bringing a relatively weak to Stealth Rocks team this week, so that's sort of there. Yeah, so with this spread, we are living a Wild Charge and a Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko. I have a little less HP because I wanted an odd value, so we have 4. Same Duxie. Next up's Donphan or Elefante. This is our physical wall. It's also a really good switch into Tapu Koko. He has to be running HP Ice for this. Because if he wants to just like U-turn out on Donphan, which is fine with me, then he's going to take some Rocky Helmet Chip. This is a really good switch into Infernape. He's going to take some Rocky Helmet Chip. This is a decent switch into the Snorlax. He'll take some Rocky Helmet Chip. This is our way of dealing with the Garchomp a little bit because of the Ice Shard here. I don't have Ice coverage outside of Ice Shard on my Donphan and Hidden Power Ice on a variety of things. So I think he wouldn't go Yachi Berry Garchomp. I don't think it makes sense against my team for him to go Yachi Berry Garchomp unless he specifically wants to set up on Donphan, which is dangerous, as we'll see later on here. Yeah, Earthquake, again, good coverage against his team. I can't touch the Bronzong with the set, but I can at least set up Stealth Rocks. Rapid Spin to get rid of the Stealth Rocks because I'm bringing some weak things. We're not going to have our Sturdy afterwards because I decided to go with a physically defensive pivoting Donphan, but yeah. HP, max HP, but odd value. Max attack Adamant with 8 in defense, so we're going to take hits really well. And that's kind of the gist with Donphan. Now we get into the more offensive Pokemon. I'm bringing Mega Beedrill for the first time this season. Stripes making its debut. It is only the second week, but that's what we're doing. U-turn, Poison Jab, Drill Run, Toxic Spikes. I think I want Sniper because we don't have to Mega Evolve. Oh, you know what? I'd rather have Swarm if we can't Mega Evolve. U-turn for Momentum. This is the start, well, it's the second U-turner that we've seen on the team so far already. Poison Jab for the Tapu Koko mainly. It's also going to do well against the... So we're hitting the Decidueye neutrally, so it's not the biggest deal, but Poison Jab is going to be really good against the Infernape. Also, well, Mega Sharpedo, I'd rather U-turn on. Poison Jab is going to do better against the Avalugg. Poison Jab is going to do better against the Snorlax. Poison Jab can OHKO the Acelgor. It's also going to hit the Alolan Raichu really well, although U-turn will as well. We have Drill Run there for the Nihilego. If he ends up bringing that, we can sort of reliably check it with Drill Run. I'd have to scout and see if he was Scarf or not first, because if he's like Life Orb or something, then he's killing me with Power Gem, but I'd be faster, and as long as we hit the Drill Run, which I believe, yeah, it's a 95% accurate move, we would kill the Nihilego. If he's Sash, then GG. That's just a really good play on his part, honestly, if he's Sash. And if he's Scarf, then we're dying. So we have some switch-ins to figure out what sort of damage he's putting out, and that's sort of the idea with that. I have Toxic Spikes on there because I didn't need a last move slot. I thought Knockoff could be okay. But it doesn't really matter, and I think getting Toxic Spikes up and just getting some chip damage on his team would be really good. His only grounded poison type is Nihilego, and I have Drill Run for Nihilego, like I said. So Toxic Spikes, I think, can be really good against his team, just wearing things down. I'd really love to get a little bit of chip off on some things. I need a lot of chip on things like Avalugg. I only need a tiny bit of chip on Mega Shark, so getting a poison from Toxic Spikes would be really good. I think I'd only end up getting one layer probably against his team because I don't really need to Toxic anything except for Snorlax, and I have Toxic on Celesteela for that. We don't have it on this. We don't have it on... Yeah, so Toxic on Celesteela for that. We're running enough speed to outrun Tapu Koko. There's really no reason for us to try and speed tie the Acelgor because Acelgor can't touch us, and we can beat it. An HP Fire from Acelgor does not kill us. I should know because I've had this matchup against Mudsdale in the LET. And I decided, despite the fact he didn't bring Mega Beedrill, there was no point in me running max speed on Acelgor. Just like there's no point in me running max speed on Beedrill. We're not outspeeding Scarfers with max speed, so it doesn't matter. And I'd rather just speed creep something that I can, which is the Tapu Koko. There's something else that I'm speed creeping a little bit later that's a little more in depth. But yeah, this one is specifically only speed creeping Koko. Max attack and a lot of HP investment. Beedrill's defenses are fairly poor. Wade defenses are fairly poor overall, even when it megas, so it's not the biggest deal, but at least we might be able to maybe take a Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko, potentially. If he's not an electric terrain, we probably can. We'll take things like a Mach Punch from an Infernape a lot better. Well, it is a resisted hit, and we have a horrible defense stat. That's, again, an option. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh! Something to mention about Celesteela. This set does not get 2-hit KO'd by Crunch from Adamant Shark, so that's kind of cool. Next up is Forceful or Darmanitan. Again, like I said in the draft breakdown, you can literally pop a Scarf on this thing and it'll be useful. Like, I don't need another item on this for it to be useful. I decided I wanted to put a Scarf on to outrun a few things just in case, and we'll see why in a second. But I'm running U-Turn, so another U-Turner is the third U-Turner. We've got a lot of momentum this week. Flare Blitz because it's a good stab. It's going to hit a lot of his team really well anyways. He's got a resist in Nihilego, he's got a resist in Infernape. Neither of those are really resists to Darmanitan Flare Blitz, I'm not going to lie. Avalugg is an okay switch in, but at the same time it's weak to it. If he's Heat-Proof Bronzong, it's an okay switch in. Snorlax with Thick Fat is okay as well, but if he's Thick Fat, then he's not going to want to take my Toxic from Celesteela. Earthquake is there for the Tapu Koko and the Alolan Raichu, and the Nihilego, honestly, because if Nihilego's his only switch into a Flare Blitz, then that's really bad for him. I also don't consider Sharpedo a switch into Flare Blitz, so yeah, Garchomp is probably his best switch into this with like Rough Skin. I would imagine that would be his play. Superpower is there for the Snorlax if we do find out that it's Thick Fat, but for the most part I can actually kind of just start clicking Flare Blitz against his team right off the bat, which is something that I wasn't able to do against Matt because I had to wait for Rotom Wash to go down. Whew, I've been talking really fast and talking a lot today. We're running Adamant Max Attack with 120 in speed, so because of his weird speed tiers, he has nothing between 70 and 102 like we talked about. I am speed creeping I'm speed creeping potentially Tapu Koko, speed creeping my Rabombi. That's what I'm speed creeping. So I will be, if he's speed creeping my Rabombi, he'd try and hit 382. We're actually hitting 384 because we can't hit 383 with the speed investment, unless I took like an IV off, and that's not really worth it. So I'm fine with just giving this up. Yeah, so we're speed creeping Tapu Koko, speed creeping Rabombi, hopefully. Or Acelgor speed creeping Rabombi will be faster than those by 1 point. We can't outspeed anything that's scarfed above that anyways, doesn't really matter. But the fact that we get to be adamant makes our Flare Blitzes hurt even more. I would imagine Shark can't take 2, so that's kind of nifty, although he would probably just protect and then click... I don't know if he would click a water move. They don't really take water coverage. He might take water coverage, like Liquidation, because of Lycanroc and Darmanitan and Donphan. Maybe. He has a hard time picking moves. I think Sharpedo fits into 4 move slot syndrome here because Hydreigon eats a Crunch, it's immune to Psychic Fangs, it eats a Liquidation, but it can't eat an Ice Fang. But then Darmanitan eats the Ice Fang. Azumarill eats all of them, to be honest, except for Psychic Fangs. So he kind of needs, like, he really needs to pick between 4 different moves plus Protect, because I think as Mega Sharpedo you need Protect. So we'll see what he wants to do with that. Yeah, we have a ton of HP, and this is actually, it works out nicely that we're an odd value. Last but not least is our biggest win con for the game, and what we're setting up mementos and screens for later. Our Azumarill Secret Agent. We're bringing Z Belly Drum because it kind of tears through his team. His team is reasonably frail, and the walls that he has don't resist water. Realistically, Decidueye is his water resist, and if it's switching in on a +6 Azu, I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll live like a Leaf Blade or anything, but we do have knockoff for it. Also have knockoff for the Bronzong, because I think that would be a switch into a +6 Aqua Jet potentially, and that's going to die. Sharpedo needs to be at about 3/4 health, and my +6 Aqua Jet will pick it off. Play Rough is there for the Avalugg. When I'm +6, that's kind of the play with that. Yeah, Aqua Jet picks off the rest of his team, honestly, at +6. Like, his team is very weak to Azumarill, and so I'm going to play around that. We have Max Attack Adamant with 248 in HP, which gives us an odd value yet again. And I pop the rest into defense so that we can hopefully take like a Leaf Blade from Decidueye a little better, because that thing can take a +6 Aqua Jet, but it cannot take a +6 knockoff. So that's the team. Hopefully it works out this week. I'm really hoping that some of the sets I'm bringing can put in some work, and I will catch you guys for the match.